Alright guys, welcome to a reaction by Kenats to a video called Do Not Buy The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Very disappointing. Now I just watched a video of somebody hating on Zelda and I got to realize that it's probably a joke. He was just being satirical because his page was filled with other Zelda stuff. So anyways, this is made by someone named Hiding in My Room with 112,000 subscribers. I don't know if this is going to be satirical. This is the type of person who would listen to the first 20 seconds. Okay, it doesn't seem like he's joking around. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see what he says. And yeah, I've played the game, by the way. I am playing the game actually. And until now, I really like it. And I'm like maybe 20 hours in, 30 hours even, maybe, I don't know. Until now it's amazing. Okay, so let's see what he says.
Hello, welcome back to a new video. So recently I've been playing the brand new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as an avid fan of Zelda games and JRPGs in general, I knew I just had to play this game. Unfortunately, so far it's kind of been bland, boring, uninspiring, and sort of lacking in luster. So as you can see, I have the game loaded up on my screen. Just in case you thought I didn't actually play it yet, I am actually playing it, so you can see. So
That was a very weird way of proving you're playing the game. You don't really need to do that. I think if people don't listen to your word, then they don't matter. You don't need to show your screen to prove that you're playing the game. Like I say I'm playing the game. I don't need to show anyone that I'm playing it. Because technically speaking, that doesn't prove shit. That could be your sister or brother or someone else's console, and you're just taking it and showing it to us. But anyways, let's see, because until now he's saying some big stuff that I already hugely disagree with the whole boring and whatever he said. But I'm gonna hear your points and see what you got to say about this.
I've been playing the game for pretty much all day now, and as of right now I can't really recommend the game, and I feel kind of disappointed with my purchase. Now, when the first game, Zelda Breath of the Wild, came out almost 6 years ago back in 2017, I played that too and finished it, and at the time it was a really good game. At the time it was kind of amazing that you could play a game that looked that good and played that well on a handheld device, and I was really blown away with the gameplay and the graphics. But fast forward 6 years later in 2023 with the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not really impressed anymore with this level of graphics.
Okay, I'm already here. That's not Zelda's fault. That has like literally nothing to do with Zelda. That's Nintendo as a company. It's like if Zelda were to come out on the PS5 or the Xbox One X series or whatever, or even the PC, it would have been great. But it's not like Zelda's fault that Nintendo's behind. It's Nintendo who's supposed to like literally advance and make a new console because everyone else did. That doesn't make the game in any way boring. You can't compare a game that comes out on the same exact console 6 years later and be like, oh, the graphics aren't great. I think it plays at like 30 FPS, right? That's what I heard. So there you go, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom running at a consistent 30 FPS and higher than this on actual Switch hardware to learn 30 FPS. That's not Zelda's fault at all in any way possible.
The game looks exactly like the first game. It just looks like they copy and pasted it. The graphics have not improved at all, even though I'm playing on a Switch OLED, which is one of the latest versions of the Switch.
That doesn't change much. That literally does change nothing. The fact that it's an OLED, sure, it has some better qualities on the screen and stuff, but at the end, like I don't play it on the OLED, and you're not supposed to judge Zelda by that. Like I understand it's a video game, but you have to look at the capabilities that they had. If they had no possibility or capability whatsoever to have a game that performs better due to the console that they are using or like literally programming on, you can't judge the game by that. I understand generally we can, but then you're supposed to be shitting on Nintendo, not Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. But I'll let this point pass. Let's see what he says
exactly
after.
The same as the first game almost 6 years ago. I just find it kind of sad and disappointing that the game has made absolutely no graphical improvements after all of these years.
It does look a bit better in my opinion, like colors wise and everything. But It's fine.
It's not entirely the game's fault because Nintendo refuses to
It's not at all the game's fault.
put out a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro which can handle better graphics, and this is kind of the limitations of the hardware.
Exactly.
But come on, it's 2023 now, and we have such amazing and powerful handheld devices such as the Steam Deck and the Aya Neo 2, which can play AAA modern
You think what?
games with 720p and 60 FPS graphics.
You think Zelda, or just overall Nintendo or whoever, right, is gonna let this brand new humongous game, which the last one won Game of the Year, you think they're gonna let this new amazing game come out on, what did he say?
Now, and we have such amazing and powerful handheld devices such as the Steam Deck and the Aya Neo 2, which
On the fucking Steam Deck or Ionio 2? You think that it's as if I tell you, oh yeah, you know the new God of War's coming out, or Uncharted or whatever. Yeah, why don't you release it on the Steam Deck? Because nobody has it. Not literally nobody. I know people have it, but everyone has a Switch. Literally, I think I know more people around my age, let's say, that have a Switch than don't. But I don't think I know one person that has an Ionia 2. So it automatically would not make sense for a big ass company to release their big game on something that people don't have. I understand some people would buy it for Zelda, I get it, but it just logically doesn't make sense. And you yourself answered to your own question. You literally said yourself, I understand that the hardware is blocking these graphical improvements, but come on, it's 2023, as if it mattered. If I take a GameCube and I play it in 2040, it's not gonna make the GameCube's quality any better.
which can play AAA modern games with 720p and 60 FPS graphics, and this is just kind of lacking in luster for 2023. The graphics of Tears of the Kingdom look like they've been drawn by a 5-year-old using a crayon.
So you would say the same thing about Breath of the Wild then? So that's what your opinion was back then too? I understand.
The textures are just so low resolution, and the thing that I really dislike are the shadows. Even though they have dynamic lighting and the shadows move around as the sun sets and rises, the shadows just kind of flicker and they have this weird kind of vibrating effect, which looks really strange and jarring.
Is this all he's going to talk about?
The draw distance is also kind of disappointing, but the art style of the game is okay, I guess. If
no,
you're
it's
into that
amazing.
anime kind of style.
I get it if you're into it, but even if you're not into it, you have to recognize that it's good, like really good. Like, I might not be into, I don't know, some sort of, like, let's say I'm not into action movies, right? But I can still watch John Wick and say, okay, this is fucking good as an action movie. I don't like it. I don't like action movies. But I can't say, I guess John Wick is okay if you're into it. No, if you're into it, it's perfect. If you're not into it, it's still perfect. You just don't like it. It's that simple. I might not like a lot of games, let's say. I might not like a horror game, but I can't say it's not a good horror game because I don't like horror games.
I have to say it is quite nice to hear a bit more voice acting in the game, but unfortunately Link still does not speak. I know it's part of his character that he doesn't speak, but I just find this kind of lazy writing. It's just like, oh, we're going to...
Okay, this has to be a joke, right? So then just say you don't like Zelda. Didn't he start the video by saying he's a fan of Zelda? Wait, I'm at 2:30. Wait, I have to see this.
The games and JRPGs in
wait.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as an avid fan of Zelda games and playing the brand new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and as an avid fan of Zelda
Wait, you guys hear that, right?
games, been playing the brand new
Zelda
listen to Tears of the Kingdom, and as an avid fan of Zelda games and
avid fan of Zelda games. Keep that in mind. I know we just saw it together, but keep that in mind, please. Zelda, an avid fan of Zelda games, says this. Okay, well, sorry about that. As an avid fan of Zelda games, says this.
Part of his character that he doesn't speak. Fortunately, Link still does not speak. I know it's part of his character that he doesn't speak, but I just find this kind of lazy writing.
I'm not even going to comment on this. I think I did enough there. I think we're good, right?
acting. It's just like, oh, we're going to make this character not speak so we don't have to spend money on a voice actor. It's just kind of...
Okay, this has to be a joke. Am I watching another troll video? Because like this has to be a joke, right? Plays game all day, still has 3 hearts. Game just fall. I don't think people are not. If this is a joke, people are not taking it as a joke. So okay, there it is. I was so wrong about The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. All right.
Hard to connect and relate to the character Link when he doesn't really seem to have much or any personality. So as for the gameplay, not only are the graphics and the art style of the game exactly the same as the first game, also the gameplay and the combat mechanics and the system for fighting is basically exactly the same as Breath of the Wild. It's like they just basically copied and pasted Breath of the Wild. I don't even know why they call this a sequel. It's more like DLC of the first game. So because in the beginning of the game you lose your sword because you get attacked by some big evil boss guy, you don't really have a weapon, so you have to pick up random objects in the world like sticks and logs and anything you can find that's lying around.
Yes.
So you start off the game just whacking enemies with a stick, which is funny at first, but then gets very frustrating as your sticks keep breaking and you have to keep finding more sticks.
It's literally introducing you to the mechanics of how the game is going to proceed. What do you expect? How else would people get accustomed to the system? Because you got to keep in mind, Zelda's not made for you only. Zelda's made for everyone. Everyone's supposed to play the game. There's going to be people that play the game that have not played Breath of the Wild. Look, me. I had played a little bit of Zelda when I was young. Some different ones on my friend's GameCube. I also played on DSi at some point. I think I played Wind Waker and I forgot which the other one was. Then I played Breath of the Wild, like years later. I missed a lot of Zeldas and I want to get back into them. All his critiques are still the same mechanics in the first game that he boldly says are masterful. It literally, like actually. And I got into Breath of the Wild and then I played Link's Awakening, the remastered version on the Switch, and then I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom. And I love it. And like I forgot where I was going with this point. Just keep going for now.
The combat system is very basic and simple. Basically, all you do is target the enemy and then
pull up Penguin's video. These guys are jokes, not real arguments. Okay, I'm gonna go forward a little bit.
Spam the attack button. There's lots of
I want to see if he talks about something else.
To being able to mix and match different weapons and use all these different abilities.
Okay, he's still talking about abilities.
Combat,
okay.
Enemies are almost entirely mechanical and robot style enemies. I just find it a little bit boring fighting.
This guy didn't just say this. The enemies are all mechanical and robot. Yes, because you're still in the beginning area. Oh my god, I can't do this.
It's just combat, draw pad and use it like a wayfinding device, which I really feel like it's kind of immersion breaking. I just found it so weird in the beginning of the game when Princess Zelda whips it out and starts taking photos with it like she's using a smartphone. So
you had that in Breath of... Okay, I'm stopping this, guys. I'm sorry. I can't do this. This guy's literally... I'm sorry, bro. You're just objectively wrong in every aspect. Just putting it out there. All right.